Think your house is haunted? You should see mine.
Ladies, gentlemen, geeks of all ages, you are now entering BJ Shea's Geek Nation. Welcome.
Hey guys, Chris Walker here, Walk Like a Flame with BJ Shea's Geek Nation. Uncle Chris on BJ and Migs. It's about a week after Halloween, so of course, number one, my house is still decorated. Totally still decorated for Halloween because, well, I like it. And also, I'm lazy. But the other thing I wanted to talk to you about today is haunted houses. They just released a trailer for a new movie that's going to be coming out next year called Winchester, the House That Ghosts Built, starring Helen Mirren as Sarah Winchester, the woman who built the Winchester Mystery House. Now, if you're not familiar with the Winchester Mystery House, you should definitely check it out. I'm going to put a link to a couple of documentaries down in the comments below, or at least one documentary in the comments down below, the best one I can find. The reason I bring it up at all is because, well, haunted houses are kind of a thing. The wife and I really get into that whole spookiness of everything, and it's another reason why this place is done up the way it is for Halloween, and why we do as much Halloween stuff as we do. Like a lot. Like we love Halloween. And spooky and ghosty things in general, totally our favorite, some of our favorite stuff. Now, this house that we're living in now was actually built originally back in 1900. This place is more than 100 years old. Now, obviously, it's been sort of renovated and remodeled, and there's a lot of new stuff going on as far as the siding and the everything like that and whatnot. But 100-year-old house, 117-year-old house. Gotta be haunted, right? Well, haven't had anything spooky happen yet inside the house, but it definitely got me thinking about spooky houses and ghosts and haunted mansions and things like that, especially with the Winchester movie coming out. But I did a little digging and I found out that there's actually a lot of haunted stuff going on right here in Tacoma, in the city that I live in. And I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about that today. Also talk a little bit about the Winchester Mystery Mansion. For now, it's really cold outside, so we're gonna go in. Better. Chilly outside, warm inside because, well, heating. If you don't know that much about the Winchester Mystery House, then let me give you just a quick tutorial on it. It's basically Sarah Winchester, who was the heir to the Winchester Rifle Company, the gun that won the West, invented by her father-in-law, William Winchester. She was living back east, and she was really distraught by the death of her infant daughter and her husband, who died of tuberculosis 15 years after their daughter passed away. She visited a medium, a psychic, told her that the spirits of the people who had been killed by her father-in-law's guns were basically going to be haunting her and cursing her the whole rest of her life, and she needed to do something about that Moshko Ricky Tick. What she suggested was that she move out west, start building a house. She needed to build a nice place for the good spirits and a weird place for the bad spirits to get lost in, and that became the Winchester Mystery Mansion. Construction continued for 38 years until the day she died. Everybody stopped working the day she died, but up until then, 38 years, non-stop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week construction on the mansion, and, well, it's a pretty weird place. Like I said, I'm gonna put a documentary or two down below here and see what you think about all of that. But if you haven't checked it out, it's definitely worth looking into. If you have any interest in spooky haunted things at all, the Winchester Mystery Mansion is a great place to start. So, my house, 117 years old, I said, right? Something like that. Nothing spooky at all has really happened in this place yet, but we did find a book that was sort of the haunted history of Tacoma, and we were curious to see if maybe this house would show up in there at all, and right now, so far, we haven't been able to find it, but we did find some really interesting information about some of the other places that we know in Tacoma, places that we've been to. Specifically, and the one I wanted to really talk to you guys about today, was the Engine House number 9 pub down off of 6th Street, downtown-ish. I guess you call that Central Tacoma. I'm still getting to know what all the neighborhoods are, I don't know. Engine House number 9 used to be an actual functioning firehouse. Being a fireman, very dangerous job, certainly now, but more so back in the day when they had horse-drawn wagons and things like that to go all over town and put out fires and what have you. But yeah, dangerous. So a lot of people died. There are people that believe that some of the spirits of the firefighters who died back in the day are still haunting the pub these days. Haunted pub. We've been to that place a few times. I've actually been there with Rev and with BJ and with Danny V over on the main show. Never seen any ghosts or anything like that, but I'm going to seriously be on the lookout for it the next time I go in there, which will probably be pretty frequently. They have really excellent wings. So I'm going to be going back even if it's haunted. I don't mind a couple of ghosts hanging out as long as they're at least reasonably friendly about the whole situation. A couple of firemen watching over things might not be that bad at all. We'll see. If the ghosts show up, I'll have them sit down, order them a pint, we'll all have a jolly old time. There's nothing wrong with that. And all of this got me thinking back to when I lived in Spokane, and I lived in a very, very old house that used to be the mayor's mansion back in the day. And I gotta tell you guys, I saw a ghost in that place. Not everybody believes me. I've had BJ try to call me out on the main show a couple of times about it. The fact that I believe in ghosts, A, he thinks is weird and ridiculous. B, that I claim to have actually seen one. I saw a ghost. I'm telling you I did. And actually my wife also lived in a haunted house. She lived in a place in Georgetown that is one of the most haunted places in Seattle, supposedly. And she said that it was definitely a very creepy place, and the cats would sometimes just wig out for what seemed like no reason. So, you know, take from that what you will. I'm pretty sure the place is haunted. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for today, guys. I wanted to talk to you about haunted places and just to see what maybe you guys thought about all of that, and see if maybe you want to get a conversation going about whether or not you believe in ghosts. Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me, do you believe in ghosts? Do you live in a haunted mansion? Have you touched the spirit world in some other way that you want to talk about? Let's get a conversation going about it, guys. But until next time, stay nerdy. If you don't know the story of the Winchester, that's hard to say. Winchester Mystery Mansion. But also, my wife lived in.